So do you want to get better at negotiating property deals? In this video today, I'm going to be taking you through my top tips for negotiating property deals and take you through a live example of how I negotiated £700 off a rent to service accommodation, a rent to Airbnb deal with a landlord. So there is loads of people out there that teach you about sales, negotiation, property and different things like that. One second. And if you want to be a top G at negotiating, like little Spuddy here,
buy my course.
Then you need to follow these tips and tricks, and this is going to help you out massively in getting them property deals and getting them negotiations over the line. There's a lot of people out there that put things out on the internet around sales, around negotiation, around teaching you different property strategies and things like that. But as good as all this advice is, all the videos that you may find on YouTube or TikTok or all these other places on negotiations, on sales, on closing people, the thing is you've got to do it. You've got to step out of your comfort zone and you've got to do it. When it comes to it, negotiation and sales is just one part of what actual business is, and this is one of the things which the key point is that I think has allowed me to scale my property business, is that every business out there at the minute is sales and marketing. If you can nail sales and marketing and then you can drop whatever else the other thing is into it, whether it's a tech company, you can drop the tech in there, whether it's property, you drop property in there, if it's fitness, you drop fitness in there. If you can sell and you can market yourself, then you're going to be onto a winner. So these are two key skills that I think is really important, which a lot of entrepreneurs actually lack. In the property world, one of the main things, especially myself, I learn by seeing and I learn by doing. So one of the big things that I've wanted to do on this channel is actually show live examples of things. It's like when I'm saying things like this, I don't feel qualified to say them because I've only been doing property for 6 months and I'm very open and upfront about that. In this time though, I have negotiated and closed around 30 property deals. I've got 8 myself and I've sold coming up to around 20 property deals. So when you're doing this on a constant basis, there's a lot of things that you pick up, and one of the biggest tips and one of the biggest things I've picked up on is something that Sylvester, one of the guys that we work with, actually found out recently at one of his viewings. He had started out in property and he was worrying because he didn't have that much money, and he was worrying because he couldn't pay the actual, like the gas for his car, he couldn't pay the fuel to get to the viewings and get to the places. So he was coming at property from a very, very scarcity mindset, and the more and more that I've looked into the scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset, the more it has become very clear how important it is to come from a place of abundance and a place of almost like I don't give a shit kind of thing. Because if you come from that place, then you can negotiate well. And if you're coming from a place of fear and like scarcity, then people are just going to chew you up and they're going to spit you out because you want it so badly. You want that deal, you want that opportunity so badly that they're going to be able to get anything that they want out of you. So you've got to come from it from a strong position in an abundance mindset. So this is Sylvester telling you about his first rent-to-rent deal that he secured and how he negotiated it and the things that is so important to look for when you actually are negotiating property deals, especially rent-to-rent.
Hi guys, so this is my first property deal I negotiated probably a week or 10 days ago, and it takes a bit of time with the negotiation and stuff, but let me show you upstairs and walk you through and tell you more about it. So basically this property is right after a refurb, so it's got quite a big refurb done. So it's a 3-bed and a bathroom. There's a toilet downstairs as well. So this is the second largest bedroom, it's not the biggest. We do need some work like painting radiators, but in terms of setup, it's gonna take a few weeks. So obviously when negotiating, you can take this into account and just negotiate probably a bit of more time off between when you take the keys and the contract starts, because this actually helps you set up the property. Also, you can use that to negotiate the rental price down. This is the master bedroom. It's got a brand new window fitted, but yeah, as you can see, there's some cables sticking out. Bits like that you can always use to negotiate.
So after seeing the place, we thought we'd just talk a little bit about negotiation and negotiation tactics. And like Sylvester said, a very key negotiation tactic is actually utilising the fact that we are going to add value to the property, aren't we, by utilising the refurb and things like that. So getting a landlord to agree to a rent service accommodation can be quite tough. Like, it's definitely difficult, but there is so many benefits, isn't there? When you get these benefits across, that's what really, really helps getting the landlord over the line and closing it. One of them is the fact that we will put some money into actually refurb the property to get it to the standard that we need it to be, because if you've got a property in an amazing location like this one is, it's worth putting in that little bit extra work, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously when you're negotiating, the biggest hurdle is you need to make the landlord trusts you because you can promise the world, you can promise everything, and obviously there's many benefits for the landlord of getting a corporate company let rather than a standard tenancy. But obviously you need to come across as a genuine guy who really wants to help and offer a win-win situation.
So guys, this deal was negotiated by Sylvester himself, who's here, and we want to get some of his tips and some of the struggles that he had when he was starting to negotiate as well. Just learning about kind of how you can take yourself to the next level when it comes to negotiating property deals like this one, because like we say, the work that he's doing on this deal is quite a bit, but the cash flow in the end, after we've done our research and our due diligence, is really good, isn't it? So yeah, what are your kind of key tips around?
Key thing is when you negotiate with a landlord, you come across not needy. So this is the most important thing, because when you're coming from a mindset of scarcity, sometimes you just come across as not genuine. You need to sell yourself a deal. You need to sell yourself to what you offer, and to be extremely convinced that this is a win-win situation for yourself, for the investor, and for the landlord as well. It comes from a place where you believe yourself that you're genuinely doing a good thing, helping the landlord, helping yourself, helping the investor as well.
Yeah, they say it's that abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset, and I have been in that same position too. And coming at it from an abundance mindset and actually being okay to walk away from a deal, not pursue a deal because the numbers aren't right, and saying, look, if you want this situation to work, this is how it's going to be. This is what helped me negotiate potentially the best deal that I'll maybe ever negotiate in terms of a rent to rent. I got a ridiculous amount of money off a rental agreement just because I was coming from a place of abundance and I wasn't coming from a place of scarcity, and I was actually okay if I lost the deal. So put to future Adam and he can talk to you about this deal. Right, so this is it. This is the negotiation that I did with the landlord that got me £700 reduction in rent on a rent service accommodation deal. This amount of rent deduction is unheard of, but I'm going to be talking you through my mindset. I'm going to be talking you through what I was thinking when I was writing out these specific messages and things like that. And I'm going to show you the messages itself. So this was done over text, and I would be doing exactly the same kind of things of what I've done in this text here. When I'm talking to someone in person, I would be acting like there's a million other property deals out there and I don't need this property deal right now to make me progress forward. And if you do this over and over and over again, you're gonna get some really good deals, because the best sales negotiation tactic is to walk away and mean it. So I have the text here, and I'm sure that Lewis, my editor, will be popping them up on screen, so thank you, mate. Basically, the landlord, when I went to the viewing for this property, he said, just message me your offer and put your offer forward. But I have had offers of around £1,800 or £2,000. And I was like, gee, I'm not paying that. There's not a chance I'm paying that. So I was thinking, is this guy just trying to like highball me on the offer, and he's just trying to really get me to offer something like that? But I was like, no, there's not a chance I'm going to be able to pay that and then make the deal work and make the opportunity work. So I went through and I run my numbers and I realized that, okay, I could maybe pay $1,350-ish, like maybe $1,400 absolute max, but I don't want to pay that. Obviously, I want to get the best deal that I can for my investors and for the people that I'm working with. So this is the message that I sent to the landlord initially. So looking at the M4 property, we wanted to offer an agreement of 3 to 5 years with a rent increase each year, which this is something that is a really good key actually. If you can offer the landlord a rent increase each year to match inflation, it will normally make them a lot more comfortable about having a longer term tenancy contract, a longer term lease agreement in place. And if you put the clause in the contract saying that they have to bring that up to you, then that is a really key tool, which I really like, and it normally puts a lot of landlords at ease. But I sent him this initially, and he obviously didn't like it because it took him nearly a week to reply. I sent him a couple of follow-up messages. Again, don't leave things just to be dead in the water. You can follow up with people, you can check in. It's business at the end of the day. Sometimes people forget about things, some people get busy. So you just checking up on them isn't a bad thing at all. And then he put, dear Adam, your offer is too low. As I said, there's other offers at $1,800 or $2,000 per month. If you can match that or increase that, then it's something that we will consider. So again, I was like, there's no way I'm paying that amount of money. There's not a chance I'm paying that amount of money. So he's either does have offers at that, and if he does, fair play, go with them offers. If he doesn't have offers at that, he's just trying to hardball me, he's trying to play me to bring up the price. And I'm not doing that. I don't negotiate like that. I win the negotiations. I'm in the driver's seat, not him. So I basically messaged him then saying that, okay, well, we'll have to leave this one then. That whole wanting to walk away and mean it kind of thing. I was happy to walk away and lose this deal if he wasn't going to be willing to negotiate back with me and been able to work with me. So I said, okay, we'll have to leave this one then. Rent on apartments close to the city centre in the M4 area is around $1,300 to $1,350. I have researched and I've done my due diligence on the property's location, and I have found one in the same area, it might even be yours. This is because his property was previously run as an Airbnb. So because of the tools that I use, the iDNA tool that I use to research properties, because of that, and I showed him the evidence of it, it was like, well, he's not got a leg to stand on now because I've done my research, I've given him the evidence. In terms of the point, evidence, explain, my point is, you can jog on, I'm not paying that amount of rent. My evidence is, this is my research, this is what I've done, and then my explanation is the next bit, which is the 1800 is miles too high, never mind 2000. After the cleaning and the bills that will come off of it, depending on if we have a lower occupancy rate, it is not a good investment opportunity for me because it's not going to hit my average amount. So the max I could consider is 1370, which again, I was just trying to get him into more of a pattern of saying yes now and like agreeing to different things a little bit more. So that's a good way of doing things. If you can create a pattern of people saying yes, and you can create a pattern of people getting into a positive mindset, if they're saying no all the time, like no, 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 it's going to be a lot easier for them to then palm you off. And I actually broke down what my potential profits would be. So I said to him that it's like the property here will probably make around 2,200 a month, and then like I say, taking off the bills, taking off the rent, taking off the cleaning, taking off the maintenance and things like that, and taking off the booking fees, then I wouldn't be left with a profit if we left it that way. So this is why I need to offer you and I need to work with you at this particular rent level. He came back kind of like tail between his legs at this point, saying after discussing with my daughter and managing the Airbnb and being transparent with all of the costs and stuff when it comes to managing booking, I'd be happy to give you access to the property at 1,400 a month. It's like, well, I thought you had offers at 1,800. So when he said this to me, I'm like, you haven't got these offers. You've been trying to highball me. So at this point, I was like, okay, thank you for this. Let me run my numbers and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Again, leaving him on his toes, leaving him in anticipation of wanting to know what we're gonna do with the deal, and creating this kind of position of where I'm putting myself in an abundance mindset and he's putting himself in the scarcity mindset. So that is what you kind of want to create when it comes to negotiating. And that's why it's so important, like what Sylvester was saying about coming from that place of abundance and being okay to lose the deal and not having to worry about it. So I said, hi, after looking at the numbers, for us to hit our minimum profit targets, a maximum of what we can offer is 1,300. The deposit and the guarantor are fine. We can move on that quite quickly and get things sorted ASAP. If you are okay to move forward, we can sort out the agreement by the end of the week. And then he came back to me and went, hi, okay, send me the contract. We'll give you the furnished property. I hope you will get your returns with all the furniture and equipment, pay the advance and the deposit, and I will give you the keys. So that was an amazing negotiation, and I just finished it off very nicely with, okay mate, I'll get the contract together tomorrow and I'll send you over a copy. So boom, that is what we do. If I had a mic right now, I would drop it. But that was the negotiation, which literally got me £700 off what he was asking for rent. This property deal now is going to make the investor that has purchased it a hell of a lot of money. And you know what? It's a hands-off investment for that investor as well, because it's perfect, because they're working with us at Source Properties, they're working with my other businesses, Furnished Accommodation, to manage the deal afterwards. So we've sourced the property, we've negotiated it, we're gonna make sure it's set up and staged and get all the photography done and things like that. And then we're gonna manage the service accommodation for the investor at the end, and we're gonna help them along the entire process of the whole thing. And that's just kind of what we do at Source Properties. If an investor wants more hands-on, there can be more hands-on. If an investor wants hands-off and wants to just let their money work for them, then we can do that too. We can facilitate what people want and what people's goals are. And yeah, I just thought that that would be really, really good for you guys to see kind of a live negotiation and what my thought process was throughout the whole process. So let me know in the comments if you liked that kind of thing. Let me know if you want to see more live negotiations. It's very hard to film actual in-person negotiation, but if I can at some point, I will do that. I know that there's going to be a video coming out on Samuel Leeds' page, my mentor. He came round and he filmed me on a live negotiation, and I've nailed that one as well. That was a no money down deal, so I will definitely let you guys know when that video is going live as well. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, guys, put them in the comments below. If you want to follow my journey through property on more of a day-to-day basis, then do head over and follow me over on Instagram and TikTok and all the other social media places and things like that. And yeah, if there's any other kind of videos that you want me to cover, let me know as well. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell. We will be getting a weekly video out for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I hope you have an awesome day, guys. Speak soon. Catch you later.